Hello and welcome back to the Fracking Farmhouse, where I'm going to tell you a little story. But first of all, we're going to talk about the term gaslighting. And I know what you're thinking, like methane gases and things like that, because we're always talking about fracking here. But actually, if you look at Wikipedia, it says gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation that seeks to sow seeds of doubt in a targeted individual or members of a targeted group, making them question their own memory, perception and sanity. Right, it's the stuff of those psychological drama things where the abuser makes the abused feel like they're going mad. Right. So with that as a background, I want to tell you a little story about Harthill. And it's a village just like Marsh Lane here. It's just up the road, and Marsh Lane were the first village that were picked on by INEOS to drill an exploratory well, and Harthill were the second, and we feel very closely allied, our sort of sister village there. But things have gone at Harthill. The INEOS, they've actually got on the ground. At Marsh Lane they haven't dared put up a fence yet, because they know. But at Harthill, INEOS have put these plastic streamers in the field, right, to stop birds nesting. That's right, Oscar. Stop birds nesting, because they want to go in and build a well pad, and if there's a ground nesting birds on there, they won't. So the first thing, before they disrupt the environment big time, they put these little plastic streamers in there to scare the birds away. So that's what they're doing. And then I mentioned it before in the Hate or Hope Fracking Farmhouse. Just before the spring equinox this year, we had a whole week of Atlantic storms coming in, whole week long of really strong winds blowing across, and these streamers of INEOS's got ripped up and ended up in the hedge bottom. Right. And the good folk of Harthill went out, because they live in a nice rural community and they care about where they live, and actually picked up those streamers, and they were going to send them back to INEOS. Where they got round to it, but and Drill or Drop asked INEOS for a comment on this, which hopefully Mike can put up in a box. But it says, INEOS Shale has been made aware that some of the streamers currently operating in a scarecrow function at the Harthill site have come loose. These streamers have previously been the subject of vandalism. We're investigating the cause of the latest incident. The previous incident was particularly disappointing, as they added an environmental impact to criminal activity. And this is where the people of Harthill are thinking, hold on. Right. So INEOS, this massive multinational, picks on their village. INEOS pollute like crazy. Okay. They've threatened to shut one of their polluting factories near Middlesbrough unless they're allowed to pollute more than the European directives, or else they've threatened to shut it, costing 2,000 to 3,000 jobs. Right? They are mass polluters. 3 of the INEOS companies operating of Grangemouth are in the top 5 CO2 emitters in Scotland. Right? So you've got this company with a massive environmental footprint accusing the village, and they make plastic, by the way, and then they put these plastic streamers in the ground. So they're polluters making plastic, putting streamers in to stop birds nesting, which is having an environmental impact, so that they can make a bigger environmental impact by building a well pad. And then when the winds caused by climate change, which are caused by CO2 going in the air, which they're more guilty of than anyone in Harthill, because they've got a bigger carbon footprint of Harthill. So their winds are blowing their plastic and making a mess. And then the villagers tidy it up and accused of criminal activity by the perpetrators of all the mess that's in Harthill. That, I think, is what gaslighting is. So a message to the dear people of Harthill: keep strong, we're with you. INEOS are a load of rubbish, they're losing, and the sooner we get rid of them the better. But you really couldn't make it up. Honestly, if it wasn't so tragic, and if it wasn't, we weren't under threat for such a nasty, polluting entity that INEOS is, you'd be having a laugh at it, wouldn't you? They're calling us criminals when they've made all the mess in the first place, and all we did was pick it up out of the hedge bottom. So so there you go. That's the story of Harthill and the way it is being psychologically abused. So thank you for that, and click like and share and do all those sort of things, and thanks very much from me and Oscar at the Fracking Farmhouse.